Alright guys, it's that time again. Today we are going to go over the 6 things that I hate about my Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Now, even though the word hate is used in the title, I do not hate this car. Just want to make that very clear. These are simply 6 things that I think could be improved upon for the next generation of Challenger, and well, some things that I'm not exactly too fond of. Every car out there has a few negatives, so here are the Challenger Hellcats. Alright, so coming in at number 1, this is probably the topic that most of you expected to hear about in this video, and that would be relating to the stock tires. Now yes, I will agree the stock tires are not very good if you're going to be going for 0 to 60 or quarter-mile runs or anything like that. However, what they are great for is daily driving this car. As somebody who daily drives this car, it does a lot of road trips with it, I actually don't have a problem with the tires. I really don't. If I'm doing any sporty driving, I would go and switch to a dedicated drag setup, which I have. And that's kind of where the problem lies, is that once you do switch to, let's say, some drag radials, your drive shaft becomes a major issue. And that is the number 1 thing I hate about this car, is that if you want to go fast in this car, all you have to do is put drag radials on it. And a drive shaft, because the stock drive shaft is like a toothpick and it will break on you. It's just a matter of time. So you kind of have to pick and choose your battle. Do you want to be on the stock tires and not get any traction anywhere in first and most of second gear? Or do you want to have traction and then risk having your drive shaft break and then you're faced with having to fix that? So overall, to sum this point up, I don't hate the tires, I hate the drive shaft, because it's just the one thing holding you back in this car. It is the one weak spot. I don't know why Dodge didn't make a one-piece aluminum drive shaft or just something a little bit stronger just to handle the power that this car puts out. It's just kind of like a tease, like, you have all this power, but you can't fully use all of it. So moving on to number 2, we're gonna talk about quality control and panel fitment. Now, as you can probably tell where this fender and door meet, that's not exactly a perfect fitment there. Also down here towards the bottom, you can tell that's quite a big difference. Also back here at the taillights, you can probably tell those do not line up, and that's a very common issue among Challengers, and that's even after I've tried my hardest to get that flush. And I know, the car is a Dodge, not a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. However, it still does have a $72,000 price tag, and well, I just kind of expected a little bit better. And also moving up here to my driver's side caliper, you can probably tell that the caliper itself has like staining on it, and it was like this at the dealership when I bought it. It's not from me doing anything to it. So that's one of those little weird little quirks that this car has. No, I'm not saying every car is like this. However, it is my particular car, and it's just something that kind of bugs me, but not the end of the world. Now, coming in at number 3, I think we all saw this one coming. I've got to talk about the brake dust. It is absolutely horrible on this car. However, right now it's not that bad because I washed the car yesterday and I've driven it 5 miles. But I will play you a clip of what it looks like when they are dirty. Oh yeah. No. Oh, that is so bad. Now you might be asking yourself, dang Riley, what'd you do to get that much brake dust? Well, that was 1 week's worth of normal driving, and that's how bad it was. So you can expect that every week. It's great. Back in the car now for number 4. This is a luxury that I had back in the Scat Pack that I really appreciated and is lacking here in the Hellcat. One huge downside to the handling of this car is the fact that you can't change the steering feel. It is always fixed, and in my opinion, it's too light. I think that Dodge did that in part to make this car feel lighter on its feet, because with a light steering, you're like, wow, this thing, it's so eager and ready to just dive all over the road, which I guess is fine for just daily driving and doing that sort of thing. But where it really starts to not be so great is when you're on a back road, or if you were going to do track driving, or just something where you require a little bit more handling out of the car. It becomes pretty noticeable. The steering feels really light on it, and I wish that I could just make it a heavier steering feel. So Scat Packs have the ability to change the steering weight. Hellcat wide bodies have the ability to change the steering weight, but a normal Hellcat does not. And that's one thing that I just wish I could change. Coming in at number 5, this is probably something that will not bother a lot of you. However, it does kind of bug me. and that is the fact that I can change these to LED light bulbs. However, I can't change those to LED light bulbs. The last 4 cars I've owned, I swapped out the interior lights to LEDs, and I've enjoyed it so much more than that ugly look. Also, it greatly improves interior visibility at night, which is something I kind of miss, but like I said, not the end of the world. Last but not least, coming in at number 6, we are going to talk about that giant blind spot. As you will notice from the driver's perspective, you have a headrest that blocks that window back there, which basically means all the way from this edge of the window to that edge of the window is completely blind and you have no idea what's over there. Now, it does help greatly to have the blind spot monitoring system in the mirrors over there, so you can kind of tell like when a car is right next to you, but that doesn't always help you. It kind of depends on the scenario, but I've ran into many instances where I needed to look out that direction and I physically can't. So yeah, not exactly the most safe thing. However, I will add that the visibility out the back is pretty darn good in this car, as well as the sides and the front. It's just that blind spot that really sucks. I will admit though, it does look cool from the exterior. So there it is, guys, the 6 things that I hate about my Hellcat. Now keep in mind, these are my opinions about things that I dislike about it. And like I said, I do not hate this car at all. I think the Hellcat is one of the greatest cars ever manufactured. And honestly, I just can't believe that these things are even allowed to be made. Even more so with the Dodge Demon. Like, it's amazing those somehow passed all of the regulations and everything like that. It's incredible. But I really do love this car, and I made a video going over the 8 things that I love about this car, which was the last video I posted. So if you missed that one, go check it out and go see some of the positive things, because I promise you, there's 8 million times more positive things about this car than there are negative. So thank you guys for watching this video. Maybe you found it informative, maybe you found it entertaining, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take it easy.